You can do everything right and still feel stuck with belly fat that refuses to move. You eat carefully, you try to exercise. Yet the weight around your midsection holds on, sometimes getting worse the harder you push. For many women between 30 and 45, this isn't about laziness, calories, or discipline. It's about hormones. As stress builds and sleep becomes lighter, cortisol rises. At the same time, shifts in estrogen and insulin change where fat is stored, often pushing it toward the belly as a form of protection. Long, intense workouts can unknowingly add more stress, telling your body to hold on tighter instead of letting go. In this video, you'll learn why hormonal belly fat appears after 30 and the short daily workout that helps calm stress hormones, improve insulin sensitivity, and signal your body to release fat safely and naturally. Why hormonal belly fat appears after 30. It's not laziness. Many women notice that their body shape changes in their 30s and early 40s, even though their habits haven't. The scale may barely move, but the waist feels thicker, softer, and harder to control. This often leads to frustration and self-blame. In reality, this shift is driven by hormones, not effort or discipline. Cortisol, the stress hormone that targets the belly. Cortisol is released when your body senses stress. Its job is to keep you alert and protected. When cortisol rises occasionally, it's helpful. But when stress becomes constant, work pressure, family demands, poor sleep, cortisol stays elevated. High cortisol signals the body to store fat around the abdomen because belly fat contains more cortisol receptors. This area becomes a safe storage zone for quick energy. After 30, women tend to experience higher baseline cortisol, making this effect more pronounced. Insulin changes that encourage fat storage. Insulin is the hormone that moves sugar from your blood into your cells. When insulin works well, energy is used efficiently. But as women age, insulin sensitivity often declines due to stress, hormonal shifts, and reduced muscle mass. When cells don't respond as well to insulin, the body releases more of it. High insulin levels promote fat storage, especially in the abdominal area. This is why belly fat can increase even without eating more food. Estrogen shifts and fat redistribution. In your 30s and 40s, estrogen no longer follows the same predictable rhythm it once did. These fluctuations affect how and where fat is stored. Lower or inconsistent estrogen levels encourage fat to move from hips and thighs toward the abdomen. This isn't a failure of metabolism. It's a biological adaptation to hormonal transitions that are happening beneath the surface. Why sleep and recovery matter more than ever. Poor sleep raises cortisol and worsens insulin resistance. Even 1 or 2 nights of disrupted sleep can increase belly fat storage signals. Women in this age group often sleep less deeply due to stress, screen exposure, or hormonal changes, further amplifying the problem. Why calorie cutting often makes it worse. Many women respond to belly fat by eating less or exercising harder. Unfortunately, extreme restriction raises cortisol even more. This tells the body it's under threat, reinforcing fat storage instead of releasing it. Why doctors often dismiss these changes. Hormone levels may still fall within normal ranges on lab tests. Because symptoms develop gradually, women are often told weight gain is part of aging. The deeper hormonal picture is rarely explained. Hormonal belly fat is not a sign of laziness or failure. It's a message from cortisol, insulin, and estrogen responding to stress and change. When you address these hormones instead of fighting your body, belly fat becomes easier to release without punishment or extremes. Why long, intense workouts can backfire for women after 30. You push yourself harder, add more workouts, and sweat more, yet your belly doesn't change, or it feels even more stubborn. For many women after 30, this isn't because exercise doesn't work. It's because the wrong kind of exercise can send stress signals that keep hormonal belly fat locked in place. Exercise is a hormonal signal, not just a calorie burn. Every workout sends a message to your hormones. Short, supportive movement tells the body it's safe to release energy. Long, intense workouts often signal stress, especially when recovery is limited. For women balancing work, family, and mental load, the body may already be operating in a high-stress state. Adding excessive exercise on top of that raises cortisol even further. How intense workouts spike cortisol. High-intensity training, long cardio sessions, and fasted workouts all increase cortisol. While cortisol is useful in short bursts, chronic elevation encourages fat storage around the abdomen. After 30, cortisol takes longer to return to baseline. This means the stress response from a workout can last much longer than it did in your 20s, keeping fat release hormones suppressed. The insulin connection many women miss. Hard workouts also affect insulin. Intense exercise can temporarily raise blood sugar, triggering insulin release. When workouts are too long or too frequent, insulin sensitivity can worsen instead of improve. This creates a cycle where exercise increases hunger, cravings, and belly fat storage, especially if meals are skipped or underfueled. Why recovery becomes non-negotiable. After 30. Recovery hormones like progesterone and growth hormone depend on rest and sleep. When workouts outpace recovery, these hormones drop, while cortisol stays high. Women often feel wired but tired, sore for days, or emotionally flat. These are signs the nervous system is overloaded, not signs of progress. Signs your workouts are increasing hormonal stress, belly fat not responding, persistent fatigue, sleep disruption, increased cravings, anxiety or irritability, longer soreness after workouts. These are hormonal red flags, not motivation problems. Why more isn't the answer? Exercise culture often pushes harder, longer, and faster, but hormonal balance responds better to consistency and gentleness. The goal isn't exhaustion, it's signaling safety. For women after 30, exercise should reduce stress hormones, not amplify them. Long, intense workouts can unintentionally raise cortisol and insulin, making hormonal belly fat harder to lose. Choosing the right type of movement creates a hormonal environment where fat release becomes possible again. The hormone-supportive workout that signals belly fat release. For many women, the idea that a short, gentle workout could be more effective than long, exhausting sessions feels hard to believe. But when hormones are involved, the body responds better to safety signals than stress. The right type of movement doesn't force fat loss, it invites it. Why hormonal belly fat responds to calm, not intensity. Hormonal belly fat is driven largely by cortisol and insulin. When movement feels threatening or overwhelming, cortisol rises and fat storage increases. When movement feels controlled and supportive, cortisol drops and insulin sensitivity improves. After 30, the nervous system becomes more sensitive to stress. This makes gentle, consistent workouts far more effective for signaling fat release than extreme exercise. The core principles of a hormone-supportive workout. This type of workout follows a few simple rules. Short duration to avoid cortisol overload. Low to moderate intensity to keep stress hormones low. Full body engagement to improve insulin sensitivity. Consistency over frequency or exhaustion. These principles create an internal environment where the body feels safe enough to let go of stored fat. How this workout lowers cortisol, naturally. Gentle strength movements combined with steady breathing activate the parasympathetic nervous system, the body's calming mode. This lowers cortisol and reduces the urge to store energy. As cortisol falls, the signal to protect belly fat weakens. This shift often happens before visible weight changes, showing up first as reduced bloating and improved energy. Improving insulin sensitivity without stress. Muscle contractions act like natural glucose sponges. When muscles are engaged regularly, they pull sugar from the bloodstream without requiring large amounts of insulin. Short strength-based workouts improve insulin sensitivity without triggering stress hormones. This allows insulin to do its job efficiently instead of pushing excess energy into fat storage. Why consistency matters more than duration. A 10 to 15-minute daily routine keeps hormonal signals steady. Long gaps between workouts force insulin and cortisol to overreact when movement resumes. Daily consistency teaches the body what to expect. Predictability creates safety, and safety allows hormonal belly fat to release gradually. How this supports estrogen and progesterone balance. Gentle movement supports healthy circulation and reduces estrogen dominance. It also protects progesterone, which is easily depleted by stress and overtraining. When estrogen and progesterone are more balanced, the body stops prioritizing abdominal fat storage. The most effective workout for hormonal belly fat isn't the hardest one, it's the one your body can trust. Short, calm, consistent movement lowers cortisol, improves insulin sensitivity, and creates the hormonal conditions needed for belly fat to soften and release after 30. How this short workout improves insulin and blood sugar control. Many women notice that belly fat is often paired with energy crashes, shakiness, or strong cravings, even when meals seem balanced. This is a sign that insulin isn't managing blood sugar smoothly. The right kind of daily movement can change this without exhausting your body. Muscle, the natural blood sugar regulator. Muscle tissue plays a powerful role in insulin balance. When muscles contract, they pull glucose out of the bloodstream and use it for energy, even without large amounts of insulin. After 30, muscle mass naturally declines if it isn't regularly used. This makes insulin work harder and encourages fat storage, especially around the abdomen. Short, strength-based workouts help reverse this pattern. Why gentle movement improves insulin sensitivity. Intense exercise can raise blood sugar temporarily due to stress hormones. In contrast, moderate movement lowers blood sugar gradually, improving insulin sensitivity without triggering cortisol spikes. This allows insulin to release energy steadily instead of pushing excess glucose into fat storage. Over time, blood sugar becomes easier to control and cravings begin to soften. How daily movement reduces insulin spikes after meals. Even a brief workout improves how the body handles carbohydrates later in the day. Muscles become more responsive, meaning insulin doesn't need to rise as high after meals. This effect is especially helpful for women who experience afternoon crashes or evening sugar cravings. Insulin remains calmer and energy stays more consistent. Why women feel leaner before the scale changes. Improved insulin control often reduces water retention and bloating before fat loss occurs. Many women notice their waist feels less tight, digestion improves, and energy steadies, even if the scale hasn't shifted yet. This is a positive hormonal sign that insulin is no longer forcing the body into storage mode. The best timing for insulin-supportive movement. Morning or early afternoon workouts tend to work best for insulin balance, as cortisol naturally peaks earlier in the day. Gentle movement at these times improves glucose handling without disrupting sleep or raising nighttime cortisol. Evening workouts should remain calming and low impact to avoid blood sugar disruption. Why consistency beats intensity for insulin health. Insulin responds best to predictable signals. A short daily workout teaches the body to expect regular glucose usage, reducing the need for insulin spikes. Short, consistent workouts improve insulin sensitivity without stressing the body. By helping muscles use glucose efficiently, this type of movement reduces belly fat storage, steadies energy, and supports hormonal balance naturally for women after 30. The 10 to 15-minute routine explained. No equipment needed. The best workout for hormonal belly fat is the one you can do consistently without feeling drained or overwhelmed. This routine isn't about burning yourself out. It's designed to calm stress hormones, activate muscles, and send clear fat release signals, all in just 10 to 15 minutes. Phase 1. gentle warm-up to calm the nervous system. The goal of the warm-up is not intensity, but safety. Slow, controlled movements paired with deep breathing tell your nervous system that your body is not under threat. Simple movements like marching in place, arm circles, or gentle side steps increase circulation without raising cortisol. This prepares insulin and cortisol to respond calmly during the rest of the workout. Phase 2. Full body strength movements. Strength work is the foundation of this routine because muscle improves insulin sensitivity. The focus is on slow, controlled movements using body weight. Examples include squats to a chair, wall push-ups, standing leg lifts, or gentle lunges. These movements activate large muscle groups, encouraging glucose uptake without triggering stress hormones. Phase 3. Gentle core engagement. Core work helps signal safety around the abdomen rather than tension. Instead of aggressive crunches, gentle core engagement supports posture and blood flow. Movements like standing knee lifts, pelvic tilts, or slow heel taps strengthen the core without raising cortisol. This is important for women who hold stress in the belly. Phase 4. Low-impact cardio for circulation. Light cardio improves circulation and helps muscles use glucose efficiently. This could be marching, step backs, or light side steps. The key is maintaining a pace where breathing remains steady and calm. If you can talk while moving, insulin and cortisol are responding appropriately. Phase 5. Breath-focused cool-down. The cool-down is essential for hormonal balance. Slow breathing activates the parasympathetic nervous system, lowering cortisol and helping insulin settle. Gentle stretching paired with long exhales sends a clear message to the body. The work is done and it's safe to relax. Safety notes. Move at your own pace. Stop if you feel dizzy or unwell. Modify movements for joints or injuries. Consult your doctor if you have medical conditions. This short routine works because it respects your hormones. By combining gentle strength, steady movement, and calming breathwork, it improves insulin sensitivity and lowers cortisol, creating the conditions for hormonal belly fat to shrink naturally, without exhaustion or extremes. Why your body holds belly fat for protection, not punishment. Many women reach a point where they feel frustrated, confused, and even betrayed by their own body. You try to eat better, you try to move more, yet the belly fat remains, almost as if your body is refusing to cooperate. This can create a painful belief that something is wrong with you, when in reality, your body is responding exactly as it was designed to. Belly fat is a safety response, not a personal failure. The body's #1 priority is survival, not appearance. When hormones like cortisol and insulin sense ongoing stress, instability, or exhaustion, the body shifts into protection mode. One of the ways it protects itself is by storing energy, often around the abdomen. Belly fat is metabolically active and easily accessible. From a hormonal perspective, it's a backup energy source. Your body isn't punishing you. It's preparing for what it believes is a demanding or uncertain environment. Why this protection mode activates after 30. In your 30s and early 40s, life often becomes more complex. Responsibilities increase, rest decreases, emotional load grows. At the same time, estrogen and progesterone begin fluctuating more unpredictably. These changes make the nervous system more sensitive to stress. When stress signals outnumber recovery signals, the body chooses protection over release. Belly fat becomes a buffer, not because you're doing something wrong, but because your body is trying to help. Restriction. Tells the body to hold on tighter. Dieting harder or exercising more intensely often feels like the logical response. Unfortunately, restriction increases cortisol and lowers perceived safety. When food feels scarce or workouts feel punishing, insulin and cortisol rise together. This tells the body that energy may be needed later, so it stores more, especially around the belly. This is why extreme approaches so often backfire for women after 30. The nervous system is the missing piece. Hormones don't operate in isolation. They respond to the nervous system. When your nervous system stays in a constant alert state, fat release signals are suppressed. Simple cues like regular meals, predictable movement, warmth, deep breathing, and rest tell the nervous system it's safe. When safety increases, cortisol lowers. When cortisol lowers, insulin stabilizes. Only then does the body feel comfortable releasing stored fat. Why self-blame makes hormones worse? Self-criticism is a form of stress. When you're constantly frustrated with your body, stress hormones rise further. This keeps the protection cycle active. Compassion, patience, and understanding are not just emotional tools, they're hormonal ones. A calmer mindset creates a calmer internal environment. Reframing the relationship with your body. Instead of asking, "Why won't my body change?" a more helpful question is, "What does my body need to feel safe right now?" This shift alone can reduce stress signals. When movement feels supportive instead of punishing, and food feels nourishing instead of restrictive, hormones begin to cooperate again. Your body isn't holding belly fat out of stubbornness or failure. It's responding to stress, change, and survival signals. When you stop fighting your body and start supporting it, protection mode slowly turns off and release becomes possible again. Your simple daily hormone-friendly workout rhythm. This is not about forcing results or chasing exhaustion. Hormonal belly fat responds best when your body feels safe, supported, and consistent. The goal of this daily workout rhythm is to gently lower stress hormones, improve insulin sensitivity, and create the internal conditions where fat release can happen naturally. When to do this workout for best hormonal results? For most women, the best time is morning or early afternoon. Cortisol naturally peaks earlier in the day, so gentle movement during this window helps use that energy without overstimulating stress hormones. If mornings feel rushed, early afternoon is still effective. What matters most is choosing a time you can repeat daily without pressure. Late-night intense workouts are less ideal because they can raise cortisol and interfere with sleep. How often to do it? Consistency over intensity. This workout is designed to be done daily or nearly daily. Because it's short and low stress, your body doesn't need long recovery periods. Daily movement sends a predictable signal to your hormones, energy will be used regularly, stress will not escalate, and storage is no longer necessary. This rhythm helps insulin and cortisol settle instead of constantly reacting. How to pair movement with food. Doing this workout before breakfast or a few hours after a meal works well for most women. What matters is not exercising in a depleted, stressed state. If you wake up already tired or shaky, a small protein-rich snack before movement can help keep cortisol from spiking. The goal is support, not depletion. Why rest days still matter. Even gentle workouts require recovery signals. Rest doesn't mean inactivity, it means listening. On days when energy feels low, the workout can be shortened or softened. Hormones respond better to flexibility than rigid rules. When your body feels respected, stress hormones stay lower. Progressing without stress. Progress doesn't mean doing more, it means feeling better. Signs this rhythm is working include less bloating around the waist, more stable energy, fewer cravings, improved mood, better sleep. Visible fat loss often follows these changes, not the other way around. Making this feel sustainable. This workout works because it fits into real life. No equipment, no gym pressure, no all or nothing thinking. When movement feels achievable, hormones stop resisting. A short, consistent, hormone-friendly workout rhythm tells your body it's safe to release stored energy. When stress lowers and insulin improves, hormonal belly fat no longer needs to stay, and change becomes sustainable instead of exhausting. Conclusion. If you've been struggling with stubborn belly fat and feeling frustrated by workouts that no longer seem to work, remember this: your body isn't broken. hormonal belly fat is not a sign of laziness or lack of discipline. It's a response to stress, shifting hormones, and a nervous system that's been asked to do too much for too long, especially between the ages of 30 and 45. When you choose short, supportive movement instead of exhausting routines, you send your hormones a different message. Cortisol begins to settle. Insulin becomes more efficient. Estrogen and progesterone stop competing and start cooperating. Over time, your body no longer feels the need to protect itself with stored belly fat. Small daily habits create powerful hormonal shifts. When you support your body instead of fighting it, your hormones begin working with you, not against you. This video is for educational purposes only and is not medical advice. If this video helped you understand your body better, like this video, subscribe for more doctor-approved hormone guidance, and share it with a woman who may need this message today. Thanks for watching, and thank you for taking a kinder approach to your body.